I can't lie. Seeing Cenat confront, if you want to call it that, confront the CEO of Twitch at the Streamer Awards was not something really on my bingo card. Then again, I don't even have one because I'm trying to get more involved in this world of streaming. But I gotta say that it was pretty unexpected when I watched that clip online, and it's just kind of it is kind of crazy because when you look at the clip, it's literally Cenat sitting down and he's he turns his head and he's talking to the CEO, right? And already it's a fantastic environment to try to have like a serious conversation because there's music everywhere, lights are blaring, and it's just have a look for yourself. Have a look for yourself.
I guarantee you it was edited.
It didn't look edited.
Did he tell you what I said?
Yeah, he said you thought it was edited.
No, I'll tell you what I said. Tell you exactly what I said. Miz gave his Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Right? And then he gave like OG. He gave like Soda Poppin' and Wreckful and all these OG.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I guess for some people, Mount Rushmore is for the OG.
Yeah, I seen that, yeah.
Okay, and so if that is your thing, then Kai and Speed are at the top of the heap now.
No, you said, no.
And then,
you
so therefore Kai and Speed wouldn't be on. No, I said they're at the top of the heap now, so then Kai and Speed wouldn't be on Mount Rushmore.
You had said, like you can't, you only told me that I was about to because you was in front of me.
Oh no, you saw that. No, I had you on that. I meant the clip.
No, you said to Miz, you said the only reason why you put me on Mount Rushmore is because you was in front of me. Yeah. It's okay, bro.
Okay, I might have said that, but that's just talking to me.
I told John though.
I might have said, but then I guarantee you I might have said that, but they edited where they said, oh, I wouldn't have them on there. I never said that. Okay,
I seen it, but it's all good though.
So yeah, you've heard it. Apparently, there's like this streamer version of Mount Rushmore, and it's pretty interesting to have that as a concept, I suppose. I mean, for those of you who don't know, right, Mount Rushmore, it's you put the founders and people who've contributed to the US of A, baby. And, it's having a version of that for streamers. Yeah, I totally get that, I'm not out there, not yet, but I could understand that. And it's really interesting seeing that he was, I think the main logic, right, was that OGs go there, right? What was it, Soda Poppin' and some other guy? I've heard the former's name. I've heard that name, which is significant because I'm not that involved. I want to be involved though, so I'm trying to get everyone's names memorized. I want to be in this world where I get to know what's going on in the big web. But anyways, it's pretty interesting seeing that argument of, like the OGs should be there, because honestly, hey, that statement in and of itself, I can agree with that, right? You want like people who really contributed to streaming, being in the industry, and being out there. And hey, if Soda Poppin' is, a very big contributor of that, then sure, feel absolutely free. I think that's what was put there. But honestly, he did immediately say that, it was edited, which kind of sucks as a first look, I gotta say. But it looks to me like his opinion is that, OGs should only be there. And hey, with all due respect, I do know that Cenat, I actually saw a clip of him very, very, like, recently, you could say. Like, it was some 2-3 years ago where I first saw a clip of him. And, like, he had, like, a very, like, small-looking setup and stuff. So he did have, like, absolutely explosive growth. And you can say the same for Speed, right? So, I can understand that argument of not wanting, them up there because you only want OGs, but you got to think about it, right? Whether or not it's OGs, those two low-key contributed so hard to streaming becoming popular. And it's like, before them, I remember that streaming was like, you just went on there for games and stuff, and it was just like, yeah, like, I'm gonna play this game for the rest of my life. It'll be this very lengthy game. I'm not saying that didn't exist before them, but I'm saying I feel like they really popularized that like genre of streaming where it's like, yeah, we're here, we're doing whatever, whenever. We got like these IRL tours of of whole other countries. I think Speed is literally going around the globe right now. Like, nah, he started in his room just like playing games. I think it was like it was some like NBA game, I think. Like his very old videos. It was really funny looking because his setup was honestly unchanged. I think he had that like green screen still. But, you know, whether or not you think they should be on Rushmore, so oh my god, that's so silly having to say that. But whether or not you think they should be on that mural or not, you know, you gotta admit that they contributed like pretty decently to streaming, like absolutely exploding in popularity for a lot of aspects. Like, guys, Pete's sake, when I am walking around in college, there are many times when I literally hear people say, what is it? Please, Speed, I need this. And I guarantee that was like very rare before their advent to see people going around telling quotes from live streams. And, you know, like Mount Rushmore has 4 faces, I think. Yeah, 4 faces. So you gotta pick 4 really good ones, unless you just want like a Hall of Fame. I mean, there's my Hall of Fame right there. And that'll be there for as long as I live, I imagine. But whether or not you gotta only limit for like, hey, for me, I'm someone who is, you know, who only really got into streaming very recently. If I had to pick a few, it would be the people that I literally remembered even when I was not a streamer, okay? And in recent memory, I can't lie, I think Speed and Cenat were absolutely insane for the growth that they perpetuated, that they proliferated, you know? And doesn't Speed only stream on YouTube? I might be wrong for that. But the point is, you know, as me and also just the people that I'm surrounded by, regular consumers, you know, if they can literally belt out quotes from Speed's stream, like that is celebrity status. And whether or not he streamed on Twitch, you know, you gotta admit, streaming as a concept was really elevated by those 2 people. You can say it's for the worse or the better, I don't know, because I'm just a guy who streams, you know, whenever I can, you know, with my schedule, my streaming schedule, and I just try to do the best I can because I'm having fun with it, right? But, you know, it's like, it reminds me of this argument, I think it was a while back, where Jacksepticeye, on like this lie detector show, those are so stupid, oh my god. He was saying like MrBeast ruined YouTube because they made it more about money and not having fun or something like that. And it just kind of, I think there's been that argument a lot for streaming also, because now it seems like to be a popular streamer, you need to literally have like a movie production studio in your home, you know? And whether or not that's fully true, you know, like it's an interesting topic to look into. But really, like, the fact of the matter is, I feel like having to pick and choose streamers who absolutely contributed like beneficially to live streaming, it's a hard task. But I can't lie, I do feel like they should probably be, if not on there, maybe on their own little Mount Rushmore next to that one. Because yeah, you can make the argue of the OGs, but like they just absolutely exploded the world of streaming. And for better or for worse, you gotta admit, virality is what people care about the most generally, and they went viral. So anyways, like, that's all I really wanted to talk about. It's just something that caught my attention. I am trying a new type of video, seeing how it goes. Obviously, I'm not going to be stuttering as much next time. There was another. And also, I got a new poster. I have one actually on my parallel adjacent wall, whatever you want to call it, right there. Like literally behind my camera. It looks kind of fire. I might swap them every now and then. That's all, guys. Have a good day, okay?